Hey, how's it going, everyone? Really quick for today. This was originally going to be a live stream, but apparently you have to have like a 24-hour period between requesting to live stream for your first time and being able to do it now. So you have an extra video for the day. There you go. But really quick story. I was watching Predator Badlands. Right, I went to the theaters to see that, and I saw this Wicked poster up there, and I was like, it was a massive, probably like maybe 3 foot tall poster of this, and I was like, wow, this is sort of disappointing from such a large company, and I'll take you guys through why. And it's basically going to be like a crash course on lighting and stuff like that. So getting into it really quick, it just looks photoshopped, right? And I'll zoom in to show you guys what I mean. So from a distance, it looks okay, but like as you can see here, the shadow obviously looks put in, and obviously it all was put in, but the shadow here looks very very much put in. Oh, come on. And as do these cards, especially around the wheels. You can tell they've been just placed into the image. This one's a little better, but you can especially tell at the wheel of it that it was put in. Let me zoom in and see if I can give you guys a rundown of how they did what they did and how this works. So, starting with a shadow here. So we see our light source is coming in from the side here. It's coming in this way. And if that were the case, you would think the shadow would be coming this way off of her instead of straight down like it is. And this is honestly a pretty simple technique to recreate. Actually, I'll just show you guys. Here, hold on. 1020, 1080. Let's take our lady here. So let's take Galinda here. I don't know. I think this one's Galinda. I don't remember. And we'll put her in here. And it's a pretty simple technique that you can use to actually create some shadows of your own. Is you take this, you flip it over, you put it down like this, do something, and this is a very like simple and rough way to do this. Put this one under here. That's good for placement, and then we'll go color overlay, and bada bing bada boom, set it to black, and there's essentially your shadow. And they've done a more complicated version of that here. Are you? There you are. But it's essentially the same thing that you get, and you just so it doesn't exactly follow the lighting, which is a big problem. And that is also the problem with these carts, is that as you can see on the carts, there's here we go. There's no shading to the cart. I mean, there's a little bit under here, but this one has none. So, right, you would expect a shadow to be coming off of it also in this direction. Also on the top of these carts, I will point out there is, oh, come on. Also on the top of these carts, there's no real distinction between lighting here and lighting down here. And that makes it look super photoshopped in. It makes it look extremely flat. And it's the same thing over here, where, you know, these look just the same as it's down here. There's not really a lot of lighting difference there. And we can help this out a little bit. So very simply, one thing we can do is we can take this and we can add our own shadow to it, right? So I'll show you guys what I mean here. And we'll just set our brush to black, set our hardness down a little bit. I'll turn that down. But you'd expect, so let's look at our lighting again. You have the lighting coming down this way, this way, this way. So we'd expect to see some sort of shadow coming off in this general direction. So I'll zoom in here and I'll show you guys what I mean. Something coming off of like this way in the general shape of whatever the thing is. It doesn't matter too much for this example, right? And then we'll turn the opacity down, and even there you can see a little bit, even though it's not perfect, it looks a little more believable to see with a shadow coming off of the wheels, and you might even get a little bit, if I set the hardness even lower. Okay, let's make a new layer. For this one, you'd also expect some shadow to be coming off this way. For the over part of the cart here, even simply overlapping. So we'll come off for our over part of the cart, just a little bit over it. Turn that opacity down actually even less. And there's the top part of our cart, casting some shadow, again coming in this direction. So we actually might not want as much going on back here. Actually, I take that back. We probably do want it back there. And then the same thing, a little less, because you see they added a little bit over here with this cart. You expect it to be coming this way, so that's good that they did that. But then also, you're probably going to want to see more shading on these areas too. And again, this is a very rough way to do it. So like, I'm not sure that should be any brighter if I were doing it. And then also something we can do is set this to white, and we're just going to put some highlights on the top as well, right? And this will make it really stand out. At the top is where a lot of light is coming in. So again, it's coming this way. We're probably going to have some light coming around our shape here on these edges. And then we just turn our opacity down here. And you'll see it sort of start to come more to life than it was. And again, this is a very rough way of doing it here. This is for sure not the professional setup. If I had more time, I would go through and perfect where the lighting all is. And even on this one, our lighting is coming down this way. So you would see a little on the top here. Just brighten it up. So you can see our lighting coming in. Okay, awesome. The tactic they did to try and hide this is they put this like blur, and you can even see like just with those shadows added, it does start to look like it fits in a little bit more. And a technique that a lot of that they do to try and hide these errors in here is blur the background, so you see our figure here. Ariana Grande is Glinda. Okay, that's the name. Ariana Grande is clear as day, and everything else in the back is sort of faded into this Gaussian blur, and then it goes away as you get up to the shadow. Now, I'm going to come back to our design here and show you that the shadow would more be skewed this way, turning this, where are you? This way here, if our lighting was coming up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mask of, well, first of all, I'm going to copy this layer, Command Control J, and I'm going to come over here and select our subject. And usually it's pretty good about this sort of thing. So there's our Glinda, and we will create a mask of her. That just looks like this. So now we've got the space in between the foreground and the background where I can stick our shadow, and it's going to look a little janky. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll do it with her. J. So we're going to take you. Where are you? There she is. Poking out. So we're going to take you. We are going to... Actually, I just want to see you for right now. I'm going to turn you around. And we're going to put you a little bit pointed towards where our light is going, and we can adjust exactly what's going on here in a minute. But really what I want is for you to have a color overlay. We want you to be black. So let's get this going here. Let's bring you down to where our shadow should be. Down here. Probably. And we'll line it up I'll line it up a little better in a second here. But we want our shadow coming more this way. And I know it does look more dramatic to have it coming down dead center, but again, with the lack of lighting, it does look a little less realistic. And it's going to look a little janky because they've got the shadow on there, but our opacity was going. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that, but you can sort of squinch down here. Squinch you down a little bit. To where lighting looks a little better. Da, da, da. And that looks a little... no, it doesn't. We gotta flip you around. Let's see. Well, we want to flip... not the whole canvas. Guess we're doing it the long way. Flip. So her arm is facing the right way. And we'll take you and we will... da, 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 da. Come over here. Let's line it up with the way our light is shining in. Like so. This is probably a little further down. Okay, this is a really rough way of doing it, but something like that would look a little more realistic than what they have right now. Because as you can see, the dress doesn't even match what her body is doing. It's just like it's sort of acting as if the lighting is coming from straight behind, not that one, coming from straight behind her. So it acts as if our lighting is coming straight down like this, which isn't in concordance with the rest of the piece as well. And this is just a showcase of like lighting matters a lot in Photoshop and trying to make things look realistic. Things won't look like they're supposed to be there unless the lighting is correct on it. Case in point, let me just take all these layers away. I'll just show you guys the original versus this. Oop, forgot one. There we go. And you can even see just like with, like, obviously this is not a perfect representation, but even just with these changes, this is flat. This one looks a little more like if they are supposed to be in the image. So there you go. That was just a really quick video for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys around.